by Shenanigans Sports Pub.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, happy Friday, happy almost weekend, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, coming to you live from the apron of beautiful Gulfstream Park in Hallandale Beach, Florida. We are here today. You can see Mike Lubie Lubitz, and we have a special guest that we're going to be chatting with in a moment. His name is Tommy Roberts, a fascinating career in broadcasting and also an innovator in the world of horse racing. But first, the person who's not here, Jeff Defo DeForest today, you notice is absent. He was not a late scratch, he was a vet scratch, an early scratch, vet scratch. He is under the weather, as they say. He's nursing a bad toe, but more, worse. He is a very full-blown cold respiratory ailment. So no Defo today, but that's okay because we're going to just soldier on here at Gulfstream Park. Later on, we're going to be getting some food delivered, and so we'll also courtesy of Gulfstream Park, and we'll be able to sample some of the great cuisine that they serve here at the track. And we're also going to have another contest giveaway, our weekly contest giveaway, where we combine the worlds of food restaurants along with a little bit of horse race, luck or handicapping, depending on what you want. I'm going to be giving a series of trivia questions in the show. And also, in order to enter the contest, what you're going to do is answer the trivia question and put in a pick for tomorrow's feature race, which is going to be the 9th race, the 2-mile-long marathon on the turf known as the Alan Jerkins Stakes. It's a full field of 12. There's actually 14 entered. There'd probably only be 12 that end up running. And if you pick the winning number of the horse along with the winning answer to the trivia question, you will have a chance at winning 2 Sunday brunch vouchers to 10 Palms Restaurant here at beautiful Gulfstream. It overlooks the track. And this week, we're overlooking the track. Last week, we were by the paddock. A little bit of lighting difficulties. Today, I think you can actually see we are here at a track. There's there's all these beautiful new turf courses behind us. They have a big Jumbotron screen, so you could actually maybe catch a glimpse of the action, and the actual horses will come running past us. So that's going to be later. Today, we'll do the contest, and if you want to enter, you just send it to my email address at mikemayoeats@gmail.com. That's mikemayoeats@gmail.com. Get your entries in by noon Saturday before the feature race, the 9th race, the Alan Jerkins tomorrow. It's a marathon, 2 miles. I don't think Defo could do 2 miles right now with his bum foot. But it's okay. No, Defo is fine. I hope he's watching because this guy here, our guest, our gentleman, not guy. He's you can tell he's old school. He's classy. He has a collared shirt on. We're more on the casual Florida side. But his name is Tommy Roberts. He is here promoting his new book, autobiography, Have I Got a Story for You? And Defo would love this guy. Veteran broadcaster, has been all over the place in terms of doing basketball, horse racing, football, boxing, which is Defo's love. Defo, it's too bad you're not here to chat with him because he has stories about everybody and everything. And the thing that he did, which is kind of revolutionary, which I don't know whether I should genuflect, enjoy, and thank him or curse him out for ruining my bank account forever. He's known as the father of simulcasting. It was his idea to bring to Las Vegas, and then it spread to tracks everywhere, to start betting on races and events that are not right in front of you live. But I'll let him tell the story. Tommy Roberts, welcome to the Lunchbox. How are you today?
Well, I'm fine, and I'm happy to be here and share some stories with some of your listeners and viewers.
Yeah, so we're kind of a mixed mishmash where we talk a lot of food. I had this mixed up, crazy newspaper career where I did sports, then I did hard news and politics for a while, and then I ended up at the buffet line on the on the cruise ship where I just kind of was the food and dining critic for the local paper, the South Florida Sun Sentinel, for 5 years. And so I've done a little bit of everything. And we simulcast this show on a food group called Let's Eat South Florida, which has about 100,000 followers. And we get a nice little crowd to talk about some food and sports. And Tommy, you told me you're from Philadelphia, and I have to just ask, where do you stand on cheesesteaks? Is it a good product?
Well, cheesesteaks, I used to go to the original, which was Pat's.
Right.
And we'd go like at 1 o'clock in the morning, and there'd be a few people. And the reason it was 1 o'clock, a lot of the show business people, the singers and the nightclubs, they'd finish up at 12:30. And we had the original cheesesteak, which was with provolone.
Ah, okay.
Wow.
Which is
Don't
the way
tell
I
me
like
about
it.
cheese whiz. We used to joke. The provolone was for the Italian Americans, and the cheese whiz is for the Americans.
Or the touristas, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
But, Pat's and Gino's, obviously the renowned stands facing each other. I always said when I went to Philadelphia, forget the cheesesteak. I love I don't know if they had this back then, but the roast pork with the broccoli rabe sandwich. It's become a thing, and I love that.
Did you ever have scrapple?
I never had
I know how to
scrapple.
fry scrapple to perfection. My
Well,
wife
what is scrapple?
cringes at the word. She said, "Do you know what's in there?" I said, "I don't want to hear about it. It's like sausage. I don't want to hear about
Oh,
it."
okay. So it's like a hot dog sausage thing. It's like all the bits
No,
of the
But it comes in a 1 pound
loaf.
loaf. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And you slice it about 1.5 to 2 inches thick and deep fry it. It's
Oh, wow.
crusty on the outside, soft on the inside, very unique flavor. It dates back almost to the Revolutionary War, I think.
Jeez.
Wow.
And do
But I love
people
it.
eat it with eggs or on a
Yeah,
sandwich? Okay.
eggs. Yeah, absolutely.
And if it was Lubie, he'd probably put ketchup on it. I don't know. He's kind of a condiment
Honestly, with a
guy.
sandwich,
But
Listen,
yeah.
I had an
Why not?
Italian dinner at my house one time, and a Montana mountain man, a skier, actually put ketchup on top of the tomato sauce. The
oh
gravy.
no, ketchup on marinara?
Yeah.
That seems a little
Yeah.
bit.
I
That's a
said,
sin.
his name was Tom. I said, "Tom, what are you doing?" He said, "Well, I put ketchup on everything."
He wasn't kidding.
So
True story.
Oh wow. So okay. So you wrote this autobiography.
Yeah.
You talk about your time in broadcasting. It says that you're a radio station owner.
Right.
You've been all over the country. But I want to hear the story about. Well, first of all, it's going to benefit. This book is benefiting the retired.
Permanently disabled jockey fund.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
There's 50 jockeys permanently. They're spending the rest of their lives in bed or in a wheelchair, including Ron Turcotte,
Who wrote Secretariat.
wrote Secretariat.
Yes.
He's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
They get. Imagine you're on a 1,200-pound horse going 40 miles an hour, and you fall, and there's 10 such animals coming down.
Yep.
They kick you in the head, the
Yep.
back. It's a horrible, frightening injury.
Yeah.
And I'm donating all the profits to this book to the fund, and I
That's
hope
fantastic.
people will join me. I'm not making a penny. I wrote the book,
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm dedicating it to the PDJF.
That's beautiful. And I think you're doing a signing tomorrow out here.
Yeah,
at
we're
Gulfstream Park.
doing a book signing starting at 12 o'clock,
Nice.
which nobody will attend because first post is 12:10. But after the first race, I'll be there
Yeah, yeah.
signing books, inscriptions, and all kinds of things.
So I have questions for you.
Yeah.
And again, first of all, how do people get the book if they want to order it?
Well,
Are they-
here at the track, it's at the gift shop.
Okay,
Okay.
great. And where my sister-in-law is actually the worker.
That's right. She just told me
Yeah,
about that. I
Tracy,
didn't know that.
Will be there, and
If
she'll
you're going
get you
to
the book with a smile.
if you're going to order it for mail, and I'll say this slowly, you have to write a check to Tommy Roberts Book Charity.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you send it to the office at 19500
Okay.
Turnberry Way,
Okay.
Suite 26, AB, Alpha Bravo.
And I will
Okay.
post this information
well,
on
And
the
that's
gonna be
Facebook
Miami,
pages
and
later.
the zip code is 33180.
And
Okay.
$32.
$32.
And-
Is
and-
it tax deductible because
Yes.
it's going to the
Oh, yeah.
permanently
Wonderful.
disabled
The-
jockeys fund? So
yeah.
again, it's it's
The
talk about
$32 includes the shipping and the tax, and any money as a gift is fully tax
Wow, that's
deductible.
amazing.
So now
And-
you live here in the Miami
Yeah.
Aventura area?
Yeah,
Okay,
uh-huh.
great. Okay. So I guess the couple of questions that I had, and I'm looking through it, I just got the book. I apologize for not being more familiar with it, but
Yeah.
I'm looking at the table of contents, and you have a full index, and just looking through some of the names here: Howard Cosell, Brain Crosby, John Brunetti from
Brunetti,
Hialeah
who we
Park.
love, yep.
We've got it looks like you have Frank Sinatra stories too,
Yeah.
or
You want to hear
Sammy
the Frank
Davis
Sinatra
Jr.
story?
yeah,
Best-
was
Heard
Sinatra? Well, first of all,
DiMaggio.
Sinatra was a great eater. He loved Italian food. He was
Yes,
from
yes, yes.
from New Jersey. What town was it? Not Bayonne.
Hackensack.
Hackensack. Okay,
Yeah.
right across the Hudson River from Manhattan.
The Frank Sinatra story is that in the third year that this horse ran, the horse's name was Mr. Wright,
Okay.
and he was named after Frank.
Okay.
And the third year, he and his two attorneys bought the horse, and the horse won the Trenton Handicap the 2 previous years.
Oh, wow.
He ran him the third time in the Trenton Handicap, won again.
Oh, wow.
So I called the race. I sent
you
the
were the
tape.
race caller?
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
I called Secretariat's Triple Crown and Seattle Sleu's Triple
What?
Crown
At which track?
on Mutual
really?
Radio, 800 stations,
I
Oh, my
apologize
coast to
for my
coast.
ignorance. Then
Wow.
that is
But-
very
That's
impressive.
But Sinatra, I sent him the tape, and I never heard a word.
Mm.
Now I go into Patsy's restaurant in New York. I had offices there at the time, and this was like a Tuesday night, and I had done the Saturday Hialeah telecast, which I did, which was the first color telecast ever done. So I walk in, and the manager knew me from watching the race, and it was a lonely night. It wasn't too crowded, and he said something about Frank's horse, Mr. Wright. I said, well, I sent him a tape, and I never heard from him. Sit still, he's here.
Ah.
He runs to the back. I look in the corner. There's a stairway, goes up to the second floor, and he had the table against the stairway, and he gets up as soon as the manager gets there, and Frank is waving me over. He's with Jilly, his aide de
Yep.
camp,
Yep, everybody knew
and
Jilly.
4 other men I didn't know then, and I don't remember now. But we
Probably
sat
don't want to know
down.
them either.
Sat down, and Frank says to the table, "This is the guy that called the race, Mr. Wright. And you get in my car, you got to listen to his call because it's in the slot,
Oh,
and I play
wow.
it for anybody who gets in my car."
That's amazing.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Now, don't ask me what I had for dinner that
Yeah,
night.
exactly.
I don't remember much of anything else. I was on cloud 9. I love Frank. Twice, one of my radio station, I ran a promotion, took 75 people to the Latin Casino across the street from Garden State Park.
Oh, nice.
And then when he appeared at the Spectrum, Ed Snyder, the owner of the Flyers, was a friend of mine. We arranged a promotion. I took 75 people, and it was Frank and Dean Martin and Sammy Davis.
It was like the
yeah.
Rat Pack.
But
This
Dean,
guy, wow.
Yeah,
This
Dean
is nice.
canceled the show at the Spectrum, and Liza Minnelli filled in, and the 3 of them doing New York,
Wow. That's
Blew-
impressive.
blew the
Oh,
place
what
out.
year was that? Like mid-70s or
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Wow,
amazing.
that is some
Well,
real
don't forget,
good old school
you know-
stuff. I mean, I remember being a kid and going out to Vegas and seeing Sammy Davis. and-
Yeah,
At
yeah.
the
Well, I'm
Sands
listen.
and-
I'm going to be 95 years old.
My
in-
goodness, you look
in
not a day
in
over
June.
75. You got
Right.
Defo beat. You're here.
And
He's
when I
actually
was
walking.
I was a young disc jockey, and my girlfriend at the time was this young girl named Patty Page, and she went up to New York. They sent her up. Her first, I met her in March of 1950, and I met her at a cocktail party for another singer named Perry Como. And every time she was in town, within 100 miles, I was there. But anyway, they sent her up to New York to record a Christmas perennial. Everybody that was a recording artist had to have a Christmas song.
Yeah.
And hers was Boogie Woogie Santa Claus. I got to the session
Yeah.
with the record distributor, Harry Rosen, and I told the head of Mercury Records, Patty's manager, and the record distributor, you guys are all wrong. The other side of that record is the hit. I was a disc jockey for 10 months.
Okay.
Okay.
And I said, I'm going to prove it. And then took it back and played it on my show every 15 minutes. And in 10 days, sold 25,000 copies
Wow.
of Tennessee Waltz.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
This,
That's
this
a
is some
huge song.
stories
Yeah,
here.
that's a
This
huge
is
song.
great. We're here on the Lunchbox today with Tommy Roberts. He's written this wonderful autobiography called Have I Got a Story for You? I've got stories too, but nowhere near as interesting
I
as
thought I had
Tommy's.
stories. I'm not on that level.
Let me get into the horse racing
Yeah.
part since we're here at Gulfstream.
Right.
And you're 95.
94. I'll
94.
be
Gotta be
95 in June.
Okay.
Don't
Well,
make
yeah,
me an old
okay,
man.
that's close enough.
Quick story.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was on the golf tee at Indian Creek, my
You still
club.
play golf.
And
Nice.
and there was a tall, skinny kid there hitting the ball a ton, 15 years old. And I told him some Tiger Woods stories. Turns out it was Julio Iglesias' son.
Oh, wow.
And I said, does your dad play golf? He said, oh, no, he's 79. He can't play. I said, well, I'm 94. He said, oh, my God.
And I bet you hit him straight down the middle.
Exactly.
You probably just use your 5-wood or 5-iron and you just like get it down the middle and you
Play a
play
solid
bogey or
10 golf.
Yeah.
golf. Just oh man,
I
you're my
played-
hero. And let me tell you, does being around the racetrack keep you young and just? I mean, do you
Well,
still
I'll
like
tell
to
you,
come out here? Or
When
or-
I started on the track when I came back from Korea in 1953. And I used to walk, 5, 6, 8, 10 miles a day from 6 in the morning till 7 at night.
Wow.
Up the stairs, down the stairs, stable area here, there. I think that helped my longevity. I got great exercise. I used to
Yeah.
run up the stairs. That
Yeah.
was my
When
exercise.
you were working, not betting either, so
Yeah.
that also probably helped your mental acuity.
Yes.
no, for me, the only exercise I get the track is when I make the final sprint to
Exactly.
the window. When I
Well,
gotta
you
get
two
the bed
guys have to
down.
read.
Yeah.
You have to read this on.
Well, I had a question. So, what's your first racetrack memory? Did you go as a kid? Was your father like into it?
Well,
Did-
wait a
did-
minute. Now, I
okay.
just got to give you this. What the heck? The
Well-
biggest
biggest bet you
chapter
ever made.
40,
Okay.
page 424, and it took place right here at Gulfstream.
Okay.
You got to read that.
Okay.
Oh,
Now,
that-
what got me interested when I graduated high school, I was 5 feet tall,
And you went to school
5'1".
in Philly?
Yeah, no, in Camden, New Jersey.
Camden. Okay.
Okay.
And I weighed about 102 pounds. I went in the Army in 1951. They drafted me to go to Korea, and I was then 5'6" or 7". I was late developing, and the kids in school, high school, wrote that they'd see me on the racetrack. I'd be a jockey, because Tommy Hurd. I went out to the track one day with somebody took me into the stable area, and I met former trainer, the late Tommy Hurd, and he gave me a set of Willard Hands silks, black silks, white silks with a black hand on it. Then later, that was the mafia, the black hand. I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, that was my
Well,
introduction.
okay. And then the other relevant bit is you become known as the father of simulcasting.
Right.
For those of you who are watching who are not familiar with horse racing, what you have out here at Gulfstream is live racing now, the height of the winter season. It's going to be their premier winter championship meet coming up, where we have all the best top jockeys and trainers and promising soon to be 3-year-olds that are going to be vying for the Florida Derby and the Kentucky Derby. But now when you come out to the track, you're not only limited to just betting one race every half hour, you have nonstop action where you can bet races, what I call C to C, coast to coast. That's how I usually bet. I go from left to right, from East Coast, from Aqueduct, all the way through the Midwest and then out to Santa Anita. And that's because of this thing called simulcasting, where you can basically get lots of different satellite signals and then commingle the betting and wagering pools. And it started with you and an
All right.
idea. How did this happen?
I'll give you the capsule summary of what happened.
Okay.
In February of 1983, I attended 2 back-to-back conventions in Las Vegas. One was the National Association of Broadcasters. I owned radio station WTMR in Philadelphia, Camden, Philadelphia. Then the next week was the NATPE, National Association of Television Program Executives. I was producing TV shows that played around the world, so I had back-to-back conventions for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
When I got to Vegas, you
were bored and you wanted to bet horses.
the Las Vegas Review Journal, which was the main paper, still is, they were running stories about Caesar's Palace, wanting to show replays of the race in the race and sports book for a little entertainment. They weren't allowed to take live racing on radio or TV because the books were scared to death of somebody past posting breaking the signal, and so was the gaming control board. So I'm reading these stories about no live racing. And after 2 weeks, I left and went back home, and I thought about it. And I thought about an idea I had in 1959 to try and send Garden State signals to Florida and Hialeah signals to Philadelphia, because most of the movie theaters were doing away with matinees and the theaters were empty. And I wanted to show the races and set up satellite type betting.
And it was the winter time and all the good racing was down here, right?
The problem was how to prevent past posting.
Right.
I said, that's easy. We get a decoder, and the only person that can get the signal, because it's scrambled, is if you have a special decoder that's not sold to anybody except that gets a license in Las Vegas. That means the hotels with race and sports books. So I got my friend Bob Quigley at who was running Meadowlands, and they were doing flat racing, and Atlantic City was doing harness racing, and we sent signals to Atlantic City, the New Jersey Racing Commission approved my request. I paid for everything, and we proved to a sample sender in the Nevada Gaming Control Board that had decoders how we could send a signal from the Meadowlands to Atlantic City.
Wow.
So
and
now,
it was secure.
Right.
And then I applied for a disseminator's license, which you needed.
Okay.
And they investigated me 9 months from from February of 1983 to March of 84 when I got my license. It was an FBI and a gaming control board.
So you got security clearances.
Yeah, and when they called me in,
Defo and Lubie would never be able to get.
When they called me in, there's 9 people, the gaming commission.
Yeah.
And the chairman stood up and said, Mr. Roberts, let me start by telling you, nobody's ever heard of you. I said, what?
That's a good thing.
Because I had to tell them my main areas, Philadelphia, Miami, and New York, main areas of. He said, that's the highest compliment you can get.
Exactly.
You evidently didn't know police language.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, let me ask you a couple of questions. If you were down here, did you knew some of the personalities down here, like Larry King?
Oh, very
when he
well.
was here, Hank Goldberg.
Very well.
Yeah.
They both worked for me when I was vice president, general manager at Hialeah.
Yeah, we miss Hank. And,
We're friends.
So, well, no, this is all fascinating stuff. Tommy Roberts.
It's all in the book.
We're a little bit running short on time, but again, you can come on out tomorrow to Gulfstream Park.
I'll be here from 12 to 2 right in the breezeway signing
in the breezeway.
books.
He'll be selling books. He'll be signing books.
And they're going to be on sale at the gift shop.
I can't wait to read some of these stories because, it sounds like you've had quite the life, quite the journey, meeting all kinds of people. And what are you a food guy? Do you enjoy?
There's 3 things that I like.
Okay.
Golf.
Yep.
This aside from my wife and family, in no special order. Golf, reading, and food.
Beautiful. And you're of Italian heritage?
Yes.
So you like a good pasta, or you like do you have any recommendations?
The 7 fishes for Christmas Eve.
That's, I do it too, even though I'm a Jewish guy. I married a Catholic girl from Ohio. We're no longer married, but she still cooks for me. We have a daughter.
Yeah.
And our tradition is, down here in the Latin culture, they do the Noche Buena with the roasted pig, but we do the Feast of the 7 Fishes.
7 fishes.
And I love that. Do you have have a favorite Italian restaurant around town here that you could recommend?
Yeah, we need a recommendation from Tommy Roberts.
Probably like Carpaccio's the best.
Carpaccio's down
Bell
in
Harbor.
Okay, yeah, that's a solid place. I used to love Prezzo down in the Aventura back in the heyday. I don't know if you remember Prezzo. And Casa d'Angelo. I don't know if you've gotten to the
well, I went
Aventura.
there when they first opened up.
Yeah.
And it went downhill fast.
Oh, no.
And
we
I
like
stopped
Angelo.
going.
Well, the original up in Fort Lauderdale still does top-notch work.
Yeah.
Luckily, they're not a sponsor of ours. But
and I got, then they opened up there, and I was the early customer.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Tommy, hey, thanks so much for stopping by today.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. What an honor.
I hope you enjoy the
I
stories.
will enjoy this book, and we're going to, we'll you know what? If you leave a second copy, if I could, I'll give it to our co-host.
Jeff
Defo DeForest would love to read all about.
I can't give books away because of the charity, but I have a certain number for media, and so I can give you that one.
I might be alive in the early double. I didn't even see, and you heard the commotion behind us, but I was so fixated on your chat, I couldn't even see. If I'm alive in the double, if I cash this ticket, I will donate those proceeds to the permanently disabled jockey fund.
Yeah, that's a great
will be.
There's a great story in there. Stan Dudas, the golfer. It's a racing story. You don't want to miss it.
Okay.
All right.
Check it out. All right, Tommy Roberts. Thanks so much. And we've got to put in a good word for our friends at Tropical Acres Steakhouse. Do you know the Studiales? Yeah, well, no, I know Woody Woodbury. And so Tropical Acres Steakhouse, the Studiale family, they will take great care of you. 2500 Griffin Road. It's the place to go for Christmas Day. They will be open for Christmas dinner on Sunday, closed Christmas Eve, but they're still available for the Christmas dinner from 1 to 8 p.m. They're going to serve all the holiday classics, the ham, the turkey, along with their great prime rib. And when you go to Tropical Acres, you'll get treated like family, whether it's your first time or your 500th time. They're open every day but Sunday. Usually, the holiday schedule is closed Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, open New Year's Eve, close New Year's Day straight. The rest of the open every day but Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, half price night, happy hour in the bar, Monday through Friday from 4:30 to 6:30. You can't beat that deal. They have half price no matter what you're drinking. Belvedere martinis for $7. That's unheard of, along with all their great appetizers for $5 and $6. Great coconut shrimp, along with the sirloin sliders. Great place to go. 2500 Griffin Road, Tropical Acres Steakhouse. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
And more right here from Gulfstream Park, as we are each and every Friday. If you want your shot at a vouchers,
we're going to be into the contest right after these words.
Coming up after this here on the Lunchbox.
Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiale family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, Coast because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. It's a Friday. We had a little chat with Tommy Roberts. It seemed like a lot. Enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I could have talked for the full hour, but we have other things to do, and I think we have to get these contest tickets in the hopper. And this week we are going to have a series of clues once again.
Okay.
And again, it's back to the Wayback Machine. Eventually, we'll go into the here and now. I just figured with Defo, he loves talking about restaurants that no longer exist. And so, continuing on that vein, and continuing on the vein, Tommy Roberts here talking about stories of Frank Sinatra stars. We're talking about Cease to Be.
Okay.
But it was a place that combined.
There we go.
Oh, wow. Joe is here with the food. Perfect timing. And we could have Joe Beja is coming back, the director of food and beverage, and he's got us food and some things to sample. But first clue, it combined Hollywood glamour with South Florida natural beauty. This restaurant was a place you could go cruising for not a bruising, for a really good meal. So that's your first clue. Combine Hollywood glamour with South Florida natural beauty, where you could go cruising, not for a bruising, but for a fantastic meal overlooking some nice waterfront property.
I have no idea.
So that is the first clue in the series of the double whammy, which is the answer to the restaurant
eventual
food
question.
trivia.
Yep.
Then we will. You also have to pick a number between 1 and 12 in tomorrow's 9th race feature, the
Okay.
Allen Jerkins Stakes 2-mile marathon on the turf. That is a 12-horse field. Actually, 14 entered. There will likely be 2 scratches. It gets a little convoluted. If one of your picks scratches, then you get the post-time favorite. If nobody picks the winning horse, which was the case last week, then you get the tiebreaker will be whoever has the highest finishing horse, whether it's second place, which is the case last week, where 2 people had the second place horse. We went to a tiebreaker shake drawing on Monday. That was won by Andrew Peters.
Yes.
Congratulations to him. He and a guest will be able to chow down and enjoy themselves on a Sunday brunch buffet at 10 Palms. And we welcome back to the Lunchbox, Director of Food and Beverage at Gulfstream Park. And he came bearing gifts. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah to us, because I got some stuff here that looks pretty good.
Jeez.
What do we have here, Joe? And how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you, Mike. We are featuring some of our items from our 10 Palms restaurant, which is located at the 2nd floor here at the main clubhouse building overlooking the track. We're open every day for lunch, for live racing, Wednesday through Sunday. Quick plug, obviously. But one of the first time I wanted to point out to you was the onion ring appetizer that we've done.
That looks great.
This was an idea.
Like
we
it's
actually
like soup and
yes,
onion rings.
That's the purpose of it. I have to be quite honest with you. This is an idea that we borrowed, I guess you could say, from another restaurant.
That's fine. Flattery
is
the invitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Exactly.
And in a nutshell, I like to call it a deconstructive onion soup.
Yeah.
So it has
interesting.
several onion rings. Obviously, it has the broth of the onion soup, and it's topped off with Gruyere and a little bit of Parmesan.
It smells great.
It smells amazing.
It's a perfect winter dish because there is a cold front allegedly coming. I just was looking at the forecast because it looked so gloomy today, and it seems like the weather doesn't know what it wants to do. Is it raining? Is it going to clear up? Is it warm and humid, or is it going to be cold? It says by Christmas time or like next Saturday, we're going to be in the 40s in South Florida.
Oh, wow.
So this is going to be the perfect dish because it looks hearty. I kind of want to pick up the bowl and slurp it,
Just
but
do
what
what
can
gotta
I do?
It's fine.
I'm gonna cut.
I didn't bring straws. I'm sorry.
How do you eat this?
Yes.
Actually? What's the?
Do you cut into
I
it?
would rather cut in half so everyone gets a little bit of the cheese and the onion ring.
all right.
But I know it's easier. It's
Well,
easier
you're
just to take
lucky
it
I
off the
didn't pick it
top.
up with my hands and just
Right.
start going
I
in.
mean, it's
because-
easier to take it off the top, but then you get all the cheese in one ring.
Right.
So
All right. Well,
There's cheese all the way through it.
And is there like a crouton or bread down here along?
well, we
with
use the
all
breading
this?
on the onion ring as that part of
the
it.
bread component. Wow,
Wow,
this
is
is
spectacular.
fantastic.
Oh my God, good
I
for
gotta
you.
admit, I have not seen this
I've
before.
never seen this.
I'm making a mess, but it looks like
That's what you do.
it's a deconstructed onion soup that I'm turning into a demolition site, and
Go for it.
I'm gonna put, I guess, some on a couple of plates. There we go. Oh, there's the onions that come
Got a
along.
whole thing.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
put this to here.
Oh,
Lubie.
nice.
I'll be
Look
a
at
gentleman
you.
today
You're,
and actually
serving. Look at that.
and I'll put
In
some
Defo's
here on
absence.
this dish for Joe. If you want to get down and
That's
dirty
okay.
on the lunchbox,
We're
all
good.
right.
We're good.
I'll let you-
I'll let you
I'm gonna
both
do the
enjoy.
eating.
On the lunchbox,
And what else? While
you have
I'm
to
stuffing
eat.
my face and sampling,
Sure, I'll
this
take you around a few
onion.
other
Take
ones
me
that we have
around.
here.
I see
Sure.
a skirt steak. or-
As we do have a skirt steak here
churrasco.
with the churrasco, obviously, with a chimichurri on it. I mean, what would it be not to have a few Latin dishes on our Latin influenced
Argentina's in
dishes?
the World Cup
Yep.
final, so you
It's
gotta
perfect
have some Argentina
timing.
flavoring.
But it is one of our most popular dishes at 10 Palms as well.
Beautiful.
We do a great job with that. We added that to the menu last year, so it is a repeat for this year
Nice.
because of its popularity. It stays. And then the last item and a new item, which is very much of a comfort food, is a Reuben sandwich. A lot of people that come to the track, as much as we, as a culinary, my team would love to, show all their best and get fancy. We're not an over-the-top fancy type of restaurant. So a Reuben sandwich is very comforting. We have a lot of horsemen and owners that come here and they say, listen, we just want a good Reuben sandwich.
Exactly.
A lot of Northerners and so forth that enjoy their corned beef and so forth. So this is a new item that we added to the menu this year, and it's great. It's a big hit.
And the Reuben has the sauerkraut. I'm
Your
sorry. The
microphone
Reuben
was up.
has the sauerkraut, the Swiss cheese,
And Thousand Island. Yep.
and yes, and it's corned beef on it.
Correct.
Yeah. I'm
is
going to go in and take
Chef, absolutely. Please do.
half, and because
That one's
it's-
easier to cut and
it's-
half. Okay.
well, I'm going to just be a
No, of
pig
course.
and
Take
just
the halves. There's
dive
two.
in. And we're here. Oh, it's Lunchbox. Lubie,
I'm here. I will do the play-by-play as Evo likes to do there. This is the Mayo we know. He's cutting things up, dishing it out. No. Diving headfirst into a sandwich as it drips over his chin. This is the Mayo we know and love. I'm sorry you have to witness this, Joe, but it is like when you go to other countries and you just grab things with your hands. It's a sign of appreciation for how good the sandwich is.
It's a very tasty Reuben. The perfect one. All the components. The
That's a nice
sauerkraut,
sandwich.
it does not overwhelm, and that Thousand Island dressing is perfect. I love a good Reuben, and I could see why it is now on the menu at 10 pounds by popular request.
When I have to say, as someone who's not the biggest French onion soup, I would order it every day if it was like this.
Yeah,
This is great. Like the
Thank
way
you.
the cheese, and he's a big guy for crunch. I like the crunch.
the crunch
with
with
the
the cheese,
cheese,
that Gruyere
with
cheese.
the
is
liquid
fantastic.
has a really nice flavor. And
Great.
it comes
Thank
together
you.
really nicely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I ask what restaurant that you
Oh yeah, where do they serve this?
imitated it or borrowed
Sure,
it from?
absolutely. We do a lot of task force up in Baltimore. We have tracks at Pimlico and obviously Laurel Park in Maryland.
Yep.
And we went to an area of Baltimore called Hamden, which is very similar to like a Wynwood style of area, very, very hipster neighborhood. So, and the name of the restaurant's called the Food Market.
Okay,
Nice.
very good. Well, I'm glad that you travel around and pick up some other ideas, and it's a fantastic one. It's going to be a big hit on the menu during the premiere champ during the winter, which I guess it officially starts later in the month, the 27th, I believe.
26th, day after
26th?
Christmas, that
Okay.
Monday.
Yep.
Will be
So
our opening
almost
day.
there, but already all the top jockeys and trainers and stables are here in town. And I don't know. I think they just ran the second race.
They
I
did.
don't know if I won the daily double. I was alive, which is good news for the permanently disabled jockeys fund, because we were chatting with Tommy Roberts, and he's
What a
written
story.
this
Or stories.
autobiography, and he was a delight.
Yes.
You know, if he told me or asked me, you know, oh, guess his age, I would have said what, like 82, maybe.
I was going to say late 70s.
Late
but I was gonna
70s.
say-
He carries himself well, 94 years old. That's impressive.
Wow,
And he's
that's
got all kinds
wow.
of great stories about his past as a broadcaster and also horse racing fan, celebrities, all kinds of stories in here.
owner.
If I got a story for you, he's going to be out here signing it tomorrow.
Yeah, right here.
And if you purchase it from him, again, everything goes towards the permanently disabled jockeys fund. And I can't get enough of all this good food.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go into the steak, the skirt steak.
I'll bring that closer.
And
You know,
tell
and
us a little bit about the, I guess, Sunday brunch buffet, which is
Yes.
again going to be our
We're giving
prize
away-
every week, where people get 2 vouchers, passes, all inclusive, including 1 mimosa and your tax and gratuity. But always feel free to leave a little bit extra if you got great service, which you usually
You will.
do around these parts. Yeah, it's the Sunday brunch buffet.
Yep.
Wow.
sure, absolutely. Our doors to 10 Palms on Sunday open at 11 a.m.
Okay.
Brunch itself opens at 11:30. I always like to have people recommend and start with it. We do a full pastry display. We just started making some of our own donuts in house,
Oh,
and of
nice.
course all the different
Nice.
danishes and pastelitos and other items that we
Oh,
have on the
wow.
pastry station. It's been expanded recently, and then the full buffet itself has a selection of several salads, both decomposed or composed. If you add dressings, make your own salad, or if you just want a tabbouleh salad that's already been prepared. And then, of course, we have charcuterie boards and cheese platters. And then you get to the shellfish station that features peel and eat shrimp and crab claws or whatever may be our fresh catch for the day. That can go out there. We also do a little bit of a ceviche in-house that we put out there at the
nice.
seafood station. And then we have our carving station that will have always has prime rib.
Nice.
We do
turkey,
turkey and ham.
Yep.
On our big race days, we rotate in rack of lamb as well on the big race days, but regularly it's prime rib, and then we go to about 4 other proteins and some other starches, veg,
So
or
it's
French toast,
it's a-
pancakes.
It's a great deal, even if you don't happen
Yeah,
to
don't win.
But again, we want everybody to enter the
Mhm.
contest because you could win, and it's a basically $100 value for a pair of meals of Sunday brunch at 10 Ponds. But it's still worth coming out if you don't win, and check it out, because you can get great live racing action, great brunch buffet. You can linger all day, watch the races, and just kind of go up and graze like I like to do quite
Go
often.
in
of
and
course.
out.
And
Yeah,
I got to
yeah,
compliment whoever grilled this
yeah,
skirt
this is
steak,
grilled perfectly.
because I see a beautiful,
Lot of pink.
red interior. It's a nice medium rare, which
Yep.
is the way I love my my steaks and meats, and I'm gonna just take a little bite because in honor of I'm rooting for Argentina in the World Cup.
I am as well, Messi.
Go
Same
Messi,
here.
go Chimichurri. Oh, you also,
Half
all the
half
wise
my
guys.
staff.
Okay,
Yeah, exactly. Got to keep them happy.
Yeah.
Keep
South Florida,
happy
you
staff,
gotta
happy
go
employees, happy
with
everybody.
South America, all the wise guys are saying France is a superior team, and they look pretty good, and they're going for a repeat, and they've won 2 out of the last 3 cups. So I'm rooting for something a little bit different, and would be a great way for Messi to cap off a great career.
Exactly.
And I'm going to cap off a great lunch meal
Cool.
here with Joe
Cool.
by chowing down a
Please.
little bit of the skirt.
Well,
Please.
I want to ask you because what I like and what's cool about I've had it a few times is you have your staples, but like you said, you'll bring in new things. You'll move. Who decides, or how do you guys all come to decisions to? Because that's why I like about places. I like both, where you have something you enjoy, so you want to know if you can go back and get it, but you want to try new things. How do you come to those decisions? Because it's tough to know what to get rid of and what to keep a lot of the
Right.
time.
Right. So, obviously from, we run our reports and see what sells. So
Yeah.
you have your numbers to start off with. But then, if you have regulars that like a particular item and, you want to keep your regulars happy. So you keep a few items like that. And, and we get great feedback from our staff. And, our staff will say, listen, this particular item's a tough sell, or
Yeah.
this particular item's an easy sell, and then we get together and the culinary team really kind of gets first crack at it. And then it may come up to me or to another person and we'll just say, hey, how about this? Or I'd like to put this back on and so forth. Like I'm a huge French dip sandwich person.
No.
And I was just begging my chef. I said, can we just, we serve prime rib on weekends.
Yeah,
I said,
make a
can't we
sandwich out
just
of
do it again and
Little bit of it.
shave it
Yep.
nice and
Yeah,
thin,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Houston style or something like that, and add a French dip to our sandwich? And chef acquiesced and said, okay.
You said the
Yeah.
magic word, Houston's. Unlike Houston's, you can show up here with a party of 6, 7, 10, and they will seat you here.
And we'll take you right away.
Because at Gulfstream,
We will.
they like to say yes.
Yes.
We do.
Whereas
We do.
certain
Usually I say
restaurants
no.
are now known as the House of No because they have so many rules.
No.
But yeah, the French
Yeah.
dip is one of my favorites as well. So
I'll
it's good.
always joke around and say we will definitely seat you and take you. A little known fact about the 10 Palms restaurant: it is the length of a football field.
Oh wow!
So we
And they
I
have
wish it was that
huge
big.
group tables.
so we have
and
plenty of
it's
seats.
a really fun atmosphere. I loved hanging out up there. And some
Yeah.
of our restaurant friends and sponsors, Joey from Cafe Seville, loves coming
Yes.
out on the days off. On the Sundays, the restaurant is closed. Cafe Seville, a good sponsor and a great place to go during this holiday season because
Yep.
they do a fantastic job
They
with
do.
the Spanish food, the paellas, that shrimp, the ahijo with the
Yeah.
whip, and escargot and his that red sauce, the Santa Fe sauce. We love Joey,
People loves-
and also Pat Utter, our friend from Shenanigans.
Yes.
The two
He's a big fan.
East and West. Pat show out with him next week sometime. Got to firm up the date,
Excited.
so
Yeah.
it's going to be a busy time here on the Lunchbox. All right, it's time to give the second clue
Okay.
for the
Trivia
giveaway, the trivia question. The first one was it combines Hollywood glamour with South Florida natural beauty, where you could go for a cruising, but not for a bruising, but for a great meal.
Okay.
Second one is you could say this place was another victim of the 9/11 attacks because it closed a few months, actually the following year, cost access to this restaurant severely curtailed after the attack. Location in a kind of semi-secure where you had to go through security after the 9/11 attacks in order to get there.
Okay.
So that's another clue. And so it closed in June of 2002
Okay.
after an 18-year run. So
wow.
again, you could say it was a casualty because plummeted
9/11.
after access got severely limited, security measures got ramped. Its location.
Okay.
And then I'll give one more clue before we go to our final break,
Okay.
which is opening night featured a Hollywood glamour, Hollywood celebrities, friends of one of the co-owners, whose name was in the restaurant.
Okay.
And among the other people there on opening night of May 19th, 1984,
Okay.
was Dan Marino, along with Ricardo Bond.
Jeez.
And Ricardo filled in for the celebrity whose name was, and the that celebrity couldn't make it that night. He got felled by a kidney stone and was stuck in his room at the Pier 66 Hotel.
Oh God. Okay.
So different clues.
Good luck.
Good luck. And one more clue I'll give you for those who actually might. Their signature menu item, many things, but they were known for a baked stuffed lobster, which then made a return at a later restaurant opened by one of the co-owner proprietors of the restaurant.
Okay.
Later on, just actually a few years ago, up in Fort Lauderdale at a steakhouse. So there you
Throw
go.
a lot out there.
Wow.
Hopefully you caught some of it.
Yeah. All right. Well. All right. So if you know the answer to this restaurant, restaurant that closed in 2002, and also had the glamour along with a local restaurateur, and so in a secure location that was restricted after 9/11. That you want to send that answer along with a number between 1 and 12, which horse is running. There's a chance the 13 or the 14 might run tomorrow if it gets complicated. But you could look up. Well, you could basically do a number between 1 and 13, and if the 13 or 14 don't run, then post time fake makes things even easier.
Yeah.
So you send in the restaurant, the name, number for tomorrow's Alan Jerkins Steaks, the 9th race on the card, mayoeats@gmail.com before noon Saturday, and hopefully you'll be the lucky winner of 2 vouchers to go to 10 Palms Restaurant here at beautiful Gulfstream Track. All right, I think we got to take one more break.
Yes, sir.
Joe, thank you so much for
Absolutely.
bringing and providing
Taking care of us.
today's
This is
lunch,
amazing.
because we love having lunch on the and anything else? I guess next week going to be the holiday weekend.
Correct.
Holiday hours
Chris,
with
how's
holiday
it working
schedules.
for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day? Are they racing?
Well, we are
they
racing
open?
on Christmas Eve on Saturday, closed Christmas Day,
Okay.
and then the official grand opening of our meet is that Monday, the 26th.
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day.
Day is known in England. And so there will be no Sunday brunch next weekend, Christmas Day. Stay
Correct.
home, open the presents, have your
Mhm.
Christmas dinner.
Mhm.
But then there'll be Sunday brunch folding all throughout the championship premier meet from December 26th on to the day the Florida Derby, which I guess is Saturday,
April 1st.
1st this year.
Yes.
So
Wonderful.
again, thanks so much, Joe.
Fully.
Always.
Taking great care of
And
us.
I
and
love
excited
that.
for our
My
times
pleasure.
here at
That
Gulfstream.
deconstructed onions.
Great.
a
I had to
winner.
take seconds.
Winner. I'm gonna slurp the bowl as soon as that broth. It smells. All right, we'll be back on the lunchbox to wrap up another week after these words.
When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans. For 30 years, they've been doing a great job. The original location, West Side, 3303 Sheridan Street, just across from TY Park in Hollywood. And there's the East Side location, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late in both locations. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent.
All right, yeah, we're on the lunch. There might have been a little gap there. Always a fun time at Gulfstream Park, and
Yes.
we had a great time with Tommy Roberts. Again, his book, "Have I Got a Story for You?"
Man, that was
He has
amazing.
stories for us. Come and you could, get regaled with some of his stories. And again, all the proceeds going to the permanently disabled jockeys fund. The early double. I just peeked over my shoulder. I was trying to beat the chalk in the race. There was a 3-5 favorite, ended up winning. Of course, I had the second and third race finishers. I still make a contribution to the permanently disabled jockeys.
Yeah, it's a great cause.
Great cause. So a couple things. First of all, we got to mention Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival
Yes.
coming up right after. This makes a great stocking stuffer for the foodie in your family. Go to vlfoodwine.com. Check out all the events, and you can get tickets to the three big ones, which are the cocktail competition on Wednesday, January 11th, the Smithfield Barbecue Battle, which is going to be at the Hyatt Centric on Friday the 13th, and, of course, the Grand Tasting on Saturday, January 14th. Talked with defending Barbecue Battle yesterday. That was a nice conversation.
fun.
He is
No, that
a little
guy,
bit, I don't
knows
want to say he's cocky, but he's confident on the belt. He's got something new up his sleeve after last year's Tramied brisket. That was excellent, and it was I think, a unanimous choice amongst the judges. It's definitely mine. But that barbecue battle is going to be great, pitting all the local barbecue pit masters, some out-of-town talent, and, of course, the Grand Tasting, sips and bites from restaurants all over town, along with these and distilleries and breweries from all over. Go to .com, use the promo code Lunchbox, that's Lunchbox, and you get an extra 15% savings for those big ticket events off the already low prices. And of course, there's also intimate dinners going on that whole week. Check out schedule vlfoodwine.com. And Family Day, free admission, same Las Olas Beachfront Park, A1A and Las Olas Boulevard. There'll be demonstrations and activities for the whole family, kids friendly, and also from various food vendors.
Can't wait.
That's on that Sunday, the 15th of January. Visit Lauderdale Food Wine Festival. Get your tickets now, vlfoodwine.com. And, of course, Nikki Mohan was out yesterday enjoying the pre-Hanukkah celebration, the potato pancakes, the latkes. And I have to, give a little shout out again to our friend Mark Freed at Grandpa's yesterday. Visit Lauderdale. Diversity here in Greater Fort Lauderdale. So many great places to go. Food lover.
Yep.
It's for everyone under the sun, with every dish on begins Sunday at sundown. And we had terrific bagels with the lox and cream cheese yesterday, but more importantly, we had potato pancakes blocked to gear up for the Hanukkah 8-day, 8-night festival. And Mark told me I liked I really potato pancakes they had there. He said he didn't present. It's not made in house. They bring it in from an outside vendor. It's from Joseph's Market in Boca Raton.
Nice.
And there's a series of Joseph's in the Palm Beach area. And so that I got to give it a recommendation that it's get them and buy them. If you don't want to go through the trouble and potentially losing your knuckles and scraping all on the grater when you make them at home by yourself, go down to Grandpa's potato pancakes there, or go to a local Joseph's if you happen to live up in the Boca, Palm Beach County area. That's going to do it for the week, Lubie. Hope that Defo gets better soon.
He's on the mend,
because we do want him around on Monday.
Yes.
And I don't know if I'll be here Monday. I will be. I think we've got a busy week lined up. But I got to give luck to my friends, part of my poker crew, 2 out of the 5 guys that always get together, Willie and Eric, made their because of their recent wins here.
Nice.
They bought their way into the main event of the World Poker Tour season-ending championship at the Wynn Resort in Las Vegas. $10,000 buy-in. It was a field of almost 2,700. It's day 3 today, and both Willie and Eric are still alive.
Nice.
They're almost in the money, and there's 300 shares left going into today. 370 make the money, so they're almost there, and go through the whole weekend, and they make it to the final table. Each of them will be short of at least $1 million. And first place is 4.1 million. It's life-changing money.
Yes,
if
it is.
we get through the weekend to day 4 or 5, or
may have to
when
go
they're down to
there.
like 18 or 20 players,
That's,
hop on
that's
plane
pretty
to
sick.
Vegas
Yeah, that's pretty
and do the show from there. I'll bring my
sick.
computer.
That's fine. Just bring your computer. You'll be good.
Unlike Defo, I know how to connect a computer and do a remote show. But good luck to Willie and
Yeah,
E.
good luck, guys. That's amazing.
Bring it on home because, yes, I am available for consulting and publicity. But anyway, all right, that's it for the week. Again,
Happy
thanks to everybody.
Hanukkah.
We had another bearing with us if there were any technical glitches, but you could always watch us later on and
Yes.
have a great weekend. We'll remember to enjoy Hanukkah
Happy
for those
Hanukkah.
celebrating on Sunday night, and we'll see you again on Monday. Remember to enjoy every sandwich.
Go Argentina.